log in. So it should be 28.
Okay, cool. Cool. Can y'all see me? Desiree, you can see me?
Yes.
What's up, y'all? So listen, this Zoom is on budgeting and then also multiple streams of income. So the information is very, very valuable if you're serious about really changing the way you view your finances, your financial situation. We're going to talk a little bit about economics and just understanding like the purpose of money and stuff. I always start my Zooms off. I want to know from every single one of y'all what brought you to this particular Zoom, or anybody that wants to share. It doesn't have to be everybody, but those of y'all that feels like it's relevant for me to share. The idea is to get the wheels turning in your head so that you're not just sitting here listening to me talk, because the information is very valuable. When I give it to you, it's going to be straight to the point, but you got to make sure it's applicable to what you have going on. So before y'all start, I teach a 3-tier budgeting system that basically layers you 3 layers up from broke. So of course, if we look at it from a like an op standpoint, if I wanted to like basically make one of y'all broke or take you back to broke, I would have to infiltrate 3 layers of financial stability before I actually get you to the point where you are flat broke. When you apply this, it puts you in a space where your confidence, your self-esteem, your motivation about building, it instantly changes because you know that you are layers up from being broke. Okay, cool. All right, so whoever want to share, speak up. What brought you to this Zoom? Budgeting and then multiple streams of income. And we are going to talk about all the streams of income. I break it down real simple because I know for my people, a lot of us was not taught the key, the role, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, to wealth or really having some sort of financial stability is creating multiple streams of income, living off of less than half of one. So anybody want to share what brought them to this Zoom real quick?
I can share.
Go for it.
Okay, my name is Kim. I'm in California. I am here to learn how to manage money better. I make it, but I don't do well with it. My mother didn't do well, so I need better tools.
Got you. And I appreciate you saying that. It's a lot of us. I'm included in this. Our parents, grandparents, those that raised us, they were never good with money. You know, when we were kids, they made it seem like they had a lot of shit figured out and we were to just do as they tell us to do. But in all reality, like I said on one of my videos, it's kind of circulating around, going viral. Most of us realized age 16 to about 25, they didn't know what the fuck they was doing with money. They was winging it for the most part or repeating the same financial generational curses that whoever raised them, you know, implemented onto them. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom? Budgeting and multiple streams of income. Go for it.
I'm a single mom of 2. I don't get a lot of help, so I'm trying to figure out what I could do for my kids to give them multiple streams of generational wealth. Like you said, my parents didn't teach me none of that shit. You talk about me in a lot of your lives, and there's one live where you was like, pay into the brand, you owe me all these gems that done dropped, and that's how I feel. You done dropped so many gems for me. And this will seal the deal, the budgeting. That's where I'm at with it. That's my only issue. Well, not my only issue, but one of the bigger issues that I had.
I appreciate you sharing it. For a lot of us, it is. This is going to fix a lot of what some of y'all perceive to be huge obstacles in front of you. When you get disciplined with your money, a lot of shit will work itself out. I know for dudes, men, males, masculine figures, when you get your money together, a lot of the shit that you would have to chase will come to you. For women, a lot of the reasons that you chase men and you chase attention and you have certain insecurities as far as, you know, being in rooms where people may have more going on than you based on your children, their children, just the competitiveness that goes on in the hood and the urban lifestyle. Having your money like structured to where you are above broke, well above broke, 3 tiers up from broke, it will help you with a lot of that. Anybody else want to share what brought you to this Zoom?
I want to share.
Go for it.
My name is Rayelle from Chicago, and I heard about like multiple streams of income. I started learning it when I used to do network marketing and stuff. But it was hard for me to like actually obtain them for myself just because I didn't have the discipline.
Right.
So like last year, I made me a spreadsheet to start tracking my spending and stuff. So I figured out like where my money was going, but then I didn't have enough coming in. And also too, like when I would get lump sums of money, it's like I would just pay people that I owe, like credit cards and stuff. Then I end up back where I started. So when you mentioned the 3 layers, that's what caught my attention.
Got you. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and this was something that shout out to Boom Man 100. Shout out to Boom Man because he if anybody want to follow him on Instagram, is boomman_AE. But he taught me something. He taught me the concept of good debt and bad debt. Because I heard her mention about, having money and then, or when you come into some money, you're paying off the debt that you ran up, the money you borrowed from people, right? And he explained, good debt is debt that you have to take, like your hard earned money. And we're going to talk about active streams of income where you're trading your time for money, but you're having to take money like that and pay back. Or pay on the debt that you created. Good debt is debt where you're never using your money to pay it back. And I know some of y'all, like I was when I first heard it, you like, well, how the fuck do you do that? It's simple, valuable information. Is just not shared that often. So I will share part of that with y'all in this Zoom. And then when you see me do my credit Zoom, you definitely want to get in it. His name is boomman_AE. So BOOMMAN, then _AE on Instagram. Very good person to follow. He teaches basically the bank game. Him and another executive at the label where I'm signed at, they teach this on a regular basis in their close friends on their social medias. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
Hi, I'm Nicole.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Hi everybody. I'm Nicole. Love, I want to thank you for what you're doing for us, women, men, black people, or anybody. Okay. I have some good and bad. With my finance, I had a credit score I didn't have a credit score, and I just 7 months ago I fixed my credit where I used to buy everything cash, and now I have 764, and I know how to save. Like, I would cut off everything and just save. The 1 year I saved 90K. Then I have side hustles. I don't really make much from them, but I'm trying to get to a point where I can cut off my 9 to 5 and just have a real business, or 1 or 2 or so. And I want to get into stocks and any type of investment. I'm just here to pretty much learn. And my grandma always said, sometimes you got to pay to get the knowledge.
Yeah, important information, valuable information definitely costs nowadays, and it's worth it to definitely be in this Zoom for somebody like you, because the idea is you want to save to invest. You want to make your money work for you. If you're always just chasing money to save it, you're going to eventually spend it if you don't have some sort of plan for it. So part of what y'all gonna learn in this Zoom is just making sure you have a destination for your money, your time, the way you have your life set up. And like I said, I teach a 3-tier system. Is real simple. And when I break it down, you're going to be like, fuck, this is really what I needed to actually jumpstart my life. Because a lot of us, we know how to make money. I'm a hustler. I've been a hustler since, I graduated high school. It's nothing for me to run up 100,000, 500,000, but keeping it was the problem. Making it to where I don't have to keep running these same hustle cycles over and over again, running these same plays repeatedly, being able to buy back my time, leverage the money to be able to actually live life in a space where you're enjoying and you're, breaking into the next tax bracket. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
I'll share.
Go for it.
I'm here. I'm 28 years old, and I noticed that everybody around me don't know how to manage their money. They spend their money off of emotions.
Talk about it.
I don't want to be like that. I try not to be like that. And I want to have discipline with my money so I can have money, emergency money. And also, I want to have multiple stream of incomes because I don't want to depend on one paycheck.
Right. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. When you create at least 2 to 3 streams of income, you'll see how one complements the other, because a lot of times when the economy changes or you see a fluctuation in one income, the other one usually picks up. So you never really lag when you create this for yourself. And we're going to talk about it. And you said some real shit. One of the reasons why I stress management of emotions is because most people don't realize, when it comes to marketing, I teach this in my money, entrepreneurship, and marketing Zoom. A strategy of marketing is playing on people's emotions. Understanding that a lot of people are easier to sell, scam, basically take them for their earnings or get them to overspend when they're in an emotional state. So for those of y'all that walk around and you find it difficult to calm yourself, difficult to separate, what's logically happening from what you feel, you will be one of those people that usually, you know how to make money, you go to work, you earn it, but you never really get to hold on to it. You will spend it. Anybody else care to share? What brought you to this Zoom? Budgeting and set multiple streams of income.
I'll share.
Go for it.
My name is Omo. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I am here because I am not very good with managing my money. I've never been good with it, but I always just chalk it up to, I'm creative. I'm more like in my creative zone, or I don't really take the money seriously because I don't focus on it like that. But it was actually you, Love, who really allowed me to see it in a different way when you were saying about the multiple streams of income and not trading your time for the income and just understanding how to budget myself. My birthday's coming up on Friday, so I just want to, going into this next chapter, make sure that I am financially sound and at least financially literate, become more financially literate moving forward.
I'm glad you shared. I'm glad you're here. And shout out to Canada. This is dope that you from there. So listen, this is going to help you a lot. Like, I'm going to teach out some boss shit when it comes to layering, yourself up above broke. But I will say this, and I give this gem away for free, on my platform. But understanding the idea of passive income versus active income is so important. If you have children, you need to teach them this shit young, because kids, even as early as 7 and 8 years old, they can understand this. So active income is income where you go trade your time for money. Anything you have to physically go show up for and spend a certain amount of time. So anybody that works a 9 to 5, you earn an hourly wage or a salary. Any type of work that you do, hairdresser, barber, fucking car wash owner, whatever it is, landscaping business, if you have to be the one to go and show up and do work to be able to receive money, that is an active stream of income. There's nothing wrong with it. Active streams of income usually fund passive streams of income and investment. So, the first type of income we learn to earn is active. So now the versus is passive. This is where you're earning money, or earning a stream of income based on not having to trade your time for money. This is when the money can be earned when you're not there, when your attention is not on it. So for example, when you see people nowadays create websites, and while they're asleep or while they're at a 9 to 5, people can make purchases off the website. They don't have to be there at the front counter in order to make a sale. When you see people do music and they get royalties back off of their music, that is a passive stream of income, because I spent time recording it, but once I put it out there, it can earn me money tenfold past the time that I spent. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? So we're going to talk about, I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to share with y'all the 7 streams of income so you can kind of get an understanding. And then I'm going to share with y'all a book that will help y'all start really creating some passive streams of income. Because everybody knows that active, I'm going to go get me a job. I'm going to go work at Applebee's. I'm going to go work at Walmart. I'm going to go do some hair. I'm going to go do some nails. This is all active. One of the things I want y'all to pay attention to, too, a lot of people, when they think they're 2, 3, 4 times entrepreneurs, or they talk about them having multiple businesses, pay attention to if they're saying they're nails, you cut hair, you do massages, and you wash cars. You're still going to reach a ceiling because there's only so much time to do this. You can't do hair and nails at the same time. You can't wash cars and cut hair at the same time. You're going to have to cap out at some point based on the amount of time. But when you have businesses that don't require you to be there, passive streams of income, the sky is the limit on the amount of money that you can make. Everybody understand that? Anybody got any questions on active versus passive? All right, cool. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom?
I'd like to share.
Go for it.
So I've been in the Zoom before, and it was one of the game changer Zooms for me. Like, it really, I don't know, it just really clicked for me. So I came back to the Zoom for a couple of reasons. The first one is just to hear it again, right? So it's just to be like, let me hear this again. And just to hold myself accountable, keep myself accountable, because I implemented a lot of the things I learned in the first Zoom. That first initial, I implemented a lot of things, which is great, but it's like the sustainability, like the keeping it up. So the keeping it up and just, staying inspired, just staying inspired, hearing it again. And then secondly, I'm just really proud of myself because I got all this life insurance for my kids. And that really made me happy because, now I know that, if I drop dead or something, that they have something that can take care of them and
right.
All these kinds of.
That generational wealth is everything, Aya.
Yeah, so it was just like, and also, I find that money is very emotional for me personally. So it's helping me in my emotional management. It's helping me because it's like, sometimes I want to buy something and I'll be like, why do you really want to buy this? It's because you're bored or you're sad or you're depressed about your divorce.
Yep.
Like, that's not going to change it, or like right now I have this older car and I really want a new car, but it's kind of like, you can wait a year, you can wait 12 months to get a car while you save the money you need to save to get yourself where you need to be. So it's constantly forcing me to be accountable to myself. So that's why I'm here.
Good. Listen, I'm glad you back. For a lot of y'all, you're going to realize the information that I share, it's not shared often. It's not, conversated about enough. So for some of y'all, in order to keep yourself focused, you will have to repeat Zooms just to keep the information fresh on your mind and be able to actually apply it in your life. I'm going to tell y'all something. When you finish this Zoom, one of the main things you're going to have to focus on is boundaries and privacy. When it comes to rebuilding how you operate with money, unlearning and relearning, you will have to create some sort of fences and some sort of areas where you are not going to discuss your finances with others until you got this shit down pat. Because most of us, we will get some gems on how to move with money, and then we will let the same broke motherfuckers that gave us the wrong formulas that got us where we're at tell us that we shouldn't be using the new shit that we got. A lot of us will listen to family members and those that raised us, and if you look at their life, they don't have shit. They don't own shit, don't got multiple streams of income, and really, if you popped off right now, they will ask you for some of your shit. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom before I get started?
I will. Good
Go for
evening, everyone. My name is Sharonda Jones, and I am here in Miami, Florida. And the reason why I'm here is, first of all, that video that you did on, about when we turn a certain age, we realize that our parents really didn't have it all together, and I'm doing a little bit better than I was taught. Mm-hmm. But I also want to break generational curses. So the passive income is definitely something that I want to get more into, because I do investments. I have, started investing my money and started watching my money make money. So I just wanted to just learn a little bit more tonight. So that's why I'm here. I'm
glad you said that. I'm finna tell y'all I'm gonna read y'all something real quick. And it's quick, but it's gonna hit, right? Because for me, I'm all about valuable information, right? So it says, many parents think that their job is to discipline their children by punishing them when they make a mistake. Back in like the 1930s, many parents were growing up, and it was generally taught that the job of the parent was to break the will of the child. So like as kids, shit that we wanted to do, a lot of times parents felt like their job was to stop us from fucking doing that by disciplining us and redirect us back in a direction that they felt like was more towards their will. The philosophy led to a generation of broken children whose parents felt that it was their duty to mold them and shape them into little people that their parents found to be acceptable. But the fact is, each child is unique and different from all other people in the world. Each child comes into this world with his or her own unique temperament, personality, natural learnings towards different interests and activities. And listen, I could go on and the shit gets deeper, but the idea is, for a lot of us, we have to sit down and look at what was the valuable shit that my parents taught me that I could take forward? And then what's the stuff that's some fucking generational curse shit that I need to break now before my kids end up the way I ended up? Meaning I went through a bunch of shit that was unnecessary, that if I had key things about life that I knew about, I would operate different. For example, imagine when you were in high school, they actually taught you about credit, management of emotions, understanding finances and economics, understanding that this business is a country and that most shit that seems unfair, it's simply someone else doing business at your expense if you don't have no fucking plan for how you're going to do business. If you got drilled these things up front instead of stay out of my refrigerator or go clean up your room or make sure your socks match the outfit or do you got on a clean shirt, if you were drilled this shit and beat about this shit, we would really be different right now with the way our lives looked. Anybody else want to share what brought them to this Zoom? Cool, I'm going to get started. So listen, I teach a 3-tier system that teaches you how to budget your money above broke, right?